Welcome to Dedicated to Wrestling. This is going to be the first ever episode of Slow News Saturday, Ep.1 here. What we're going to be doing with this is basically Saturday and Sunday is usually pretty slow days in terms of wrestling news. Nothing big is ever going to break unless there's maybe a pay-per-view on a Sunday, then we may get some kind of big news, but usually Saturday and Sunday is incredibly slow. Nothing is ever happening in terms of news in the wrestling world. So what I'm going to do is throughout the week, I'm just going to collect some of the news stories basically that have been doing the rounds that don't really deserve their own video, and then compile them all into Slow News Saturday just so you can still be aware of all the most important news and you're not missing out on anything. Without further ado, let's jump straight into this first episode of Slow News Saturday. First of all, it was revealed this week that over 67% of WWE Network accounts have been cancelled. Vice Sports published this, which was a really interesting article. I recommend you go onto Vice Sports and read the article because it is incredibly good. I'll probably leave the link in the description of this video because there's another news tidbit that relates to this article as well. The article said, or claims rather, that the WWE Network has amassed a total of 4,587,000 total accounts since launching back in 2014. However, according to their findings, 3,076,000 accounts of those have left the service, which puts the company only at around 1,511,000 subscribers. So that's 67% of the total people who have signed up to the network have cancelled it. I'm thinking that a lot of those account creations have been during the 3 months. I know, especially around WrestleMania season, Vince and the network, they promote that hard. They usually offer stuff like Royal Rumble free, maybe. WrestleMania was free last year if it was your first month and you sign up. Obviously, they're hoping that you stick around once the payments kick in, but that's apparently not happening. 67% rather of the accounts have gone, which that's pretty big, but apparently, according to WWE, that the network is still doing well and performing above expectations. The next one we're going to get into is from the same article that I will link in the description. And it reveals very, very interestingly that in 2012, Shane McMahon set up a meeting with Vince, Shane, Stephanie, Vince, Shane, Vince, Stephanie, Triple H, and co. And he proposed to Vince McMahon that he take over the entire creative team. The entire creative would be left to Shane. He set this up via Kevin Dunn because Kevin Dunn, who's been Vince's right-hand man for decades now, apparently doesn't get on with Triple H and Stephanie very well. So he thought bringing Shane back into the mix would really throw a spanner in the works. But it didn't work. Vince rejected Shane's proposal. And apparently, perhaps most interestingly, is that when Triple H and Stephanie found out that this meeting was taking place and that Shane himself was going to be there, they were shocked and pissed. The article quotes Stephanie as turning white like a ghost or something. Her face turned white in shock when he realized he was going to be there, and Triple H was himself really pissed about it, which is interesting because it's long been speculated that Shane, Stephanie, and Triple H's relationship isn't exactly the best, and it's even been speculated that Vince would make a storyline on that. He kind of has in Shane and Stephanie competing against each other, but as far as Triple H and Shane going against each other, that hasn't really materialized yet. The next one is a rumor that's been doing the round for the last few days, which I'm going to categorically deny. The rumor is that Paige has failed her third wellness policy test, which means she will get booted from the company. This is not true. It's not true. Like, I can't be 100% sure on it, but I'm 99.9% sure on it. What websites are going with here is they're reading a tweet that Paige tweeted and then deleted on the 8th of December, which said, "When you do nothing wrong, but things still bite you in the arse for no reason, always fun, ha ha." Apparently that to them is her saying that she's failed another wellness test. Pretty sure she hasn't failed one. It would have came out by now. I mean, hell, I will eat my hat if next week it's revealed that she's failed another one and she's gone from the company. But this is the highest form of clickbait in terms of getting you to click on the article saying that there's major speculation going around that she has failed a test. She hasn't, categorically. She hasn't. As of right now, she is still with the company perfectly fine. Another one now. Wishful thinking, maybe. Recently, a few days ago, it was none other than Kurt Angle's birthday. WWE sent him a tweet basically wishing him a happy birthday, yada yada, you know the deal. And of course, that has got fans speculating a lot that they're planting the seeds for a Kurt Angle return. I mean, there's not much to say about this other than it is really wishful thinking. Who knows? Like, he could come back. I don't think he'll wrestle ever in the WWE again. I can see him coming back just for one pop and maybe a promo of some sort or something. But as far as wrestling, can't see him coming back. And it's just wishful thinking, I think. But who knows? We may see Kurt Angle sooner than we realise. Dean Ambrose and The Miz. Apparently that is going to be the second major feud heading into 2017, which will be for the Intercontinental Championship. How this coincides with Dean Ambrose's planned heel turn that apparently they were planning in time for WrestleMania, I'm not sure. But apparently Dean Ambrose and The Miz will be a feud going forward, as Dean Ambrose is now, looks to be anyway, completely finished with the WWE World Title picture with AJ Styles. And speaking of AJ Styles' famous world title, WWE has now changed the name of this championship for the third time in the last, I don't even think it's a year, in the last 6 months or so. This is the third time in recent history that they have changed the name. The title was originally called the WWE World Championship. They changed it to WWE World Heavyweight Championship once they combined the titles. And once the brand split occurred, they decided to go back to calling it the WWE World Championship again. And now they have decided to call it the WWE World Championship. No, hang on, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. They are now calling it the WWE Championship. That's what they are calling AJ Styles' title now, the WWE Championship. I really don't know what they're thinking with this, to be honest. I mean, changing the names so much. I don't know. Like, I can't read too much into this. I just think they can't make up their mind, and Vince is behind this because it wouldn't surprise me. Like, he changes his mind on things so often, so I wouldn't read too much into it other than AJ Styles having to learn the name of the actual title he is holding. Poor AJ, poor AJ. And the last bit of news we're going to get into here from the first episode is a major creative writer in the WWE who writes for Raw and SmackDown has been fired. No details are coming out on why he was fired. We know nothing about that. All we know that apparently he was a major influence on how the women right now in WWE are being booked, which should be a concern for the women and for all the people who support women's wrestling. If he was that influential in getting them the screen time and the exposure that they've been getting and he's now gone, it should be a little bit of a worry. Hopefully Triple H can kind of step up and get in Vince's ears enough to make sure the WWE don't put the women back to an afterthought. Hopefully everything is good there, and the WWE women's roster is still shining strong, because right now it's as interesting as it's been for me in a decade, basically since your Trish and your Litas were the main superstars in the division. It hasn't been that interesting for a long time for me until now, so I really hope they can get that figured, and it's nothing serious. That's a wrap for episode 1, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know some feedback on this, whether you like this, whether you think I should cut the video shorter a bit. I just wanted to get as much news as possible and information on this for you. This has been dedicated to wrestling. Until next time.